Today is MahaShivratri, time to adore the Lord whose pure consciousness, who shines like crystal, and who sometimes reflects the golden light of his left and feminine half of Mother Uma or Parvati Devi. Time to adore the Lord whose reddish orange matted locks hold the crescent moon and the river Ganga. Time to adore the Lord who loves to hear about his devotees more than he loves to hear about himself. I thought I'll narrate what I know about a certain woman devotee of his by name Karaikkal Ammaiyar. Karaikkal is a town in Tamilnadu, that's where she was from. Ammai in Tamil and Malayalam means mother. Ammaiyar means respected mother. She was known as Karaikkal Ammaiyar because she practiced Vaatsalya Bhakthi towards Sri Parameswara. Vaatsalya literally means the love that a mother cow has towards her calf. The love of a mother cow is supposed to be superior to the love of a human mother because human mothers only take care of their own children, whereas the cow mother takes care of every other species as well. So, Vaatsalya Bhakti is that form of Bhakti within the framework of Bhakti tradition where a Bhakta considers himself as a parent of Bhagawan or Bhagavati. In fact, there is a literary tradition in Tamil known as Pillai Tamil. Pillai means child. Here, according to this, the adored deity or the preferred deity is considered to be a child, and his childish antics or her childish antics and leelas are narrated by the Bhakta. So, this shows that how well developed this framework of Vaatsalya Bhakti is. All we have to do is just enjoy that. We don't have to write verses, we can simply enjoy them. As far as Karaikkal Ammaiyar is concerned, her prominent literary works in Tamil include Arpudha Tiruvandadi and Thiruvirattai Manimale. She was born as Punitavati to a rich merchant in Tamil Nadu long ago, probably millennia ago, and she was given in marriage to another rich merchant by name Paramatma. She was a Shiva Bhakta right from her childhood, and after marriage she continued to serve her husband very well. She lived the life of a pious and virtuous householder woman. One day the Lord desired to play a life-changing game in her life. So Paramadatta had sent a couple of ripe mangoes through one of his servants so that they could be served to him when he came home for lunch. But as it happened, there was a sannyasi, a Shiva Bhakta, who had come home, and as a good hostess, she had to serve one of the mangoes to the sannyasi. So only one mango was remaining. So when Paramadatta came home for lunch, he had one mango and asked for another mango. It wasn't there. It had already been served to a sannyasi who had come home for lunch earlier. So Punitavati did not know what to do. She went into her puja mandir and she prayed and she surrendered to her Lord. Because it's not dharma to not serve something which someone asks for. And as a good householder and as a good wife, she did not know what to do. You could say that she was caught between being a good worldly wife to her husband and being a spiritual aspirant. And the only way was surrendering to the Lord, and she did that. And the Lord materialized a ripe mango in her hands that very moment she surrendered, which she served to her husband Paramadatta, who instantly recognized that the mango seemed to be otherworldly. He questioned her about this, and then she had no other way but to admit the truth to him, because being spiritual or being adhyatmic is about truthfulness. But he did not believe her. Then he asked her, how is this possible? And she said, please do not test the Lord. But he insisted that she materialize another mango just like that one mango which he had, the divine one. Then she went into the puja mandir again with him. Another mango was also materialized in her hands by Bhagawan, which Paramadatta saw with his own eyes, and when she handed that to him, it immediately disappeared. That moment, Paramadatta became a changed man. Paramadatta understood that Punitavati was no ordinary woman but a divine person. So he felt it was inappropriate to live with her as a wife, and he left the house. Days became months, and Ammaiyar was just waiting for him. But he got married again, and then he had a girl child, and he named that girl child after Punitavati. One doesn't name their child after the first wife, one names their child after their mother. So he considered her as a mother figure, a guru figure, a divine figure, and not as a wife anymore. And then he also told the other relatives who were very concerned about a second marriage that they should also worship Punitavati because she was divine. And at this point, Punitavati realized that she no longer needed the body because the body was only needed to lead a worldly life. And with the husband out of the picture, with the husband voluntarily giving herself up, she did not need the body. She did not need that beautiful and youthful body that she had. She surrendered to the Lord again. She asked for the different kind of form. She asked for the form of a ghost or ghoul, pei as it's called in Tamil, and she was granted that form. The human body has so many limitations: hunger, thirst, need for rest, and so on. But the body of a ghost, which is very similar to the body of one of the ganas, the both ganas of Sri Parameswara, they have no such limitations. She could visit so many kshetras, so many sacred temples within a short span of time, and she could be free finally. So, the form of a pei is not always negative or toxic. In her case, the form of a pei or the gana, the bhuta gana that Sri Parameswara has in his control, they are happy forms because they are all engrossed in thoughts of the Lord. So, if someone in sheer anger for no fault of yours calls you a pei anytime, just tell them that you would like to be a pei like Karaikkal Ammaiyar. The iconography of Sri Karaikkal Ammaiyar, depicted in many temples in Tamilnadu, shows her as a female form, a skeletal form with cymbals or thala in hand. She sits at the feet of her Lord who is immersed in bliss himself. He is dancing in ecstasy, and she sits by his feet and she is immersed in bliss herself. It's this bliss that we should be really after. This is an issue of the magazine Sri Ramakrishna Vijayam in Tamil, published by Sri Ramakrishna Mission, dated March 2008, 16 years from today. And that 6th March 2008 seems to have been a MahaShivratri day, and this is a special issue. We can see from this image that Sri Parameswara or Sri Shiva is wearing snakes who have their hoods spread and they seem to be hissing as well. There is an article in this issue, page 24 and 25. The article is in Tamil, authored by Sri Tirumeni Nagarasan, and I preserved this copy of this magazine just for this article because the author has taken some verses from the major literary works of Sri Karaikkal Ammaiyar, and he is speaking about the Vaatsalya Bhakthi mother had towards her Lord. Normally, the Vaatsalya Bhakti comes very easy for us. In the case of Sri Krishna, his beautiful form is so enchanting, and as a child, he evokes very strong parental feelings in any of us. And there is Balakrishna, there is worship of Sri Balarama, there is worship of Sri Bala Subramanya, and as I was mentioning earlier, there are some Pillai Tamil versions which are talking about how beautiful Sri Devi herself is as a child. But then not many of us think of Sri Parameswara as a child. Here, the mother from Karaikkal is thinking of him as a 16-year-old child. 16-year-old son, he is married as well. And from this article, I will just read out some verses, and then the rough translation of that I will also give it along that. அரவமொன்று ஆகத்து நீ நயந்து போனேல் பரவித் தொழுதிறந்தோம் பன்னாள் முரண் அழிய ஒன்னாதார் மூவையிலும் ஓர் அம்பால் எய்தானே பொன்னாரம் மற்றொன்று பூண். This is coming from a very high state of consciousness from a bhakta like Sri Karaikkal Ammaiyar, and I am trying to translate this into English, and this will be at my level only. But I am trying to do this because I thought I will share this pot of nectar I found with you. What she says here is, this is a verse with 4 lines. The 3 lines of it, she sounds like a typical mom of a 16-year-old boy who's not listening to her. She has told him so many times not to wear snakes. She has told him so many times to wear gold jewelry instead. But then, just like a 16-year-old, he just wouldn't listen to her. He keeps wearing snakes, and she is so worried about him that the snakes may harm him or something. But in the 3rd line of this beautiful 4-line verse, she mentions about his single arrow destroying the Tripurasuras, the 3 states of consciousness. So she is aware of his omnipotency as the Lord. But then she is also his mother here. So she is telling him, I've told you so many times not to wear these snakes. Please wear jewelry. She is not shouting like a typical mom of a teenager either. She is telling him in a very cute way. And when she feels so concerned for the Lord, we feel so concerned for her when we read this verse. And she's so worried. She doesn't know what to do. And then there is another verse in that her maternal instincts spread over, spill over or flow over to Devi as well. After all, the Lord is married. Her grown son is married, and she now has to worry about the young daughter-in-law also. And the verse goes like this in Tamil. குழலார் சிறுபுறத்து கோல்வளையை பாகத்து எழிலாக வைத்தேக வேண்டா கழலார்ப்ப பேரிரவில் ஈமப் பெருங்காட்டில் பேயோடும் ஆரழல்வாய் நீயாடும் அங்கு. She is talking about his habit of, daily habit of dancing in cremation grounds at nights. Of course, this has a yogic perspective as well, but here she is like an ordinary mother. She says that you have this habit of hanging out with the ghosts and ghouls at night, but you are married. Remember, she is a young girl. You are taking her along as well. She will be scared of those ghosts and ghouls. And this thought process and this heart, this love that comes through this verse, it makes you want to cry and smile at the same time. And again, she is also worried about, as like a typical mom, she is worried about what he will get to eat. Because Sri Parameswara has this begging bowl in his hand and he goes. He travels to all the 3 worlds and he asks for alms, as mendicants do and as brahmacharis do. And she says that if he is going to wear snakes all over, and the snakes are not quite either, they are hissing snakes. They are not normal snakes, they are venomous snakes. They are cobras. And she says, how will people feel like feeding you if you wear snakes and go and ask them for food? Because it's the women in any household who come out and feed these mendicants, and that's part of the spiritual process. That's part of the duty. And she is concerned about the women who may be scared of the snakes. She is also concerned about her son, the Lord, Sri Parameswara, who may not get food because people are scared. Women are scared of all the snakes that he is wearing. And that verse goes like this. நீ உலகமெல்லாம் இறப்பினும் நின்னுடைய தீய அற ஒழிய செல் கண்டாய் தூய மடவரலார் வந்து பலியிடார் அஞ்சி விட அரவம் மேல் ஆடமிக்கு. Yes, she is talking about him going to different worlds to get alms. And she says those, bad snakes have to be left at home and they should not be worn because people are going to be scared. The women are going to be scared of them. The author of this article then, he cites the Thiruvirattai Manimalai, the second great literary work authored by Sri Karaikkal Ammaiyar. He says, and there is another verse there, where Ammaiyar says that she has told him already not to wear snakes, but then he has not listened. I think it looks like she is now telling him not to touch those snakes, whatever happens. Okay, you are wearing them, fine, but don't touch them please, because they are not nice snakes. So the verse goes like this. உரைக்கப்படுவதும் ஒன்றொன்று கேட்கின் செவ்வான் தொடைமேல் இறைக்கின்ற பாம்பினை என்றும் தொடேல் இழுந்தோட்டதெங்கம் திரைக்கின்ற கங்கையும் தேன் நின்ற கொன்றையும் செஞ்சடைமேல் விரைக்கின்ற வன்னியும் சென்னித் தலை வைத்த வேதியனே. She addresses him as Vedian. Vedian means a Vedic priest or a Vedic spiritual person, because that's what he is. And she says, at least listen to this thing what I say, and you wear this beautiful Kondrai flowers on your hair, the yellow colored flowers, and you wear the vanni leaves on your hair, and you also wear these hissing snakes. Irekkindra paambu, she says, because a hissing snake is always ready to attack anyone who comes close to it. So she says, at least do this one favor for me, do not touch those snakes. If this makes you want to laugh and cry at the same time, you should do so, because it's a sattvic emotion coming out of bhakti, and that's the idea. Bhaktas like Karaikkal Ammaiyar left these verses for us, and that's the idea. These games are being played at all, and we should really enjoy them while we still can. When her earthly existence ended, Karaikkal Ammaiyar ascended to Kailasha, and Mother Parvati Devi asked Sri Parameswara about who's that was coming, because the mother from Karaikkal is walking on her head. She is walking upside down because she doesn't want to touch with feet the holy hill of Kailasha. There may be some kind of a yogic explanation for this. I do not know that at the moment. But Mother Parvati is asking this question for our sakes. It's not that she doesn't know who's coming to Kailasha. It's because she wants the glory of this bhakta to be known to the world. So, Sri Parameswara answers, that's the mother who's been taking care of me. What more does a bhakta need? When the Lord himself acknowledges that form of bhakti that they had practiced all their lives, and when he makes it known to the world as well, this is a good news that's meant to reach everyone. Today is 8th March 2024, MahaShivratri Day. It's also observed as the International Women's Day. 25 years back, the International Women's Day wasn't even a thing, and today it is. People exchange wishes, and if wishes are not given in time, people get offended, and people share with each other pictures of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. The CEOs happen to be women, and these pictures, while they are getting shared to inspire each other about material success, they cause nothing but resentment, because we all know, let's face it, we all know that not everyone can be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. So, this kind of aligning with material success alone is not bringing anyone any happiness. So, what I say is, bhaktas like Karaikkal Ammaiyar are an inspiration to everyone, not just women. And I would say that no matter what your gender, celebrate yourself every day of the entire year. All 365 or 366 days of a year, celebrate yourself in a positive way. That way, you will be able to celebrate your immediate connections, your immediate family and friends in a positive way. That's the only way to go. I am not saying everyone can become a Karaikkal Ammaiyar in one lifetime, but one can make a beginning. Let's make that beginning. And Vaatsalya Bhakti is just one form of bhakti. We could adore our beloved divine in any way, either as a guru or as a master, as a parent, as a child, as a husband, or as a friend. We could do that. It's our choice. No second human being needs to be involved in this process. While we still continue to do our worldly duties well, or in fact in a much better way, in a much more efficient way, we would be walking on our preferred path of bhakti, inspired by great bhaktas like Sri Karaikkal Ammaiyar. Let's walk on.